Aye.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
You're Vikas.
Yes, sir.
Vikas, you're comfortable in English?
Yes, sir.
Is that your preferred medium for interview?
Yes, sir. Sir, if it goes in Hindi, then I don't have problems.
Okay. And Vikas, you must have noticed that we are taking adequate care when it comes to COVID, and that's why there's adequate distance between you and us.
Okay, sir.
We are generally wearing mask except while we are speaking. Same applies to you. If it is you're comfortable with mask, you want to appear with mask, you're allowed to. But considering that you may be a little uncomfortable, especially because of the fogging thing, so you can even remove mask if you feel safe.
Sir, can I?
Please. You're comfortable, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're feeling safe.
Yeah.
Also, you yourself are not having symptoms or something.
No,
right?
sir, no.
Okay. So, it's better to ask.
Yes, sir.
Fine, Vikas. So let us start. To begin with, I want you to introduce yourself to the board members in a manner that your identity, your caste, your community, or your district, etc., is not indicated, and still we come to know something about you.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have completed my graduation and post-graduation in commerce. My name is Vikas, and my hobbies are teaching, dancing, and poem recitation. And this is my second attempt in UPPSC.
When did you complete your graduation?
Sir, 2017.
And post-graduation?
19, sir.
19. And which college you studied from?
Sir, completed my graduation from Ramjas College and post-graduation from IGNU, sir.
Okay. And you have taken management as your option?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Vikas, usually the people who take management prefer the private sectors,
yes,
the corporate sectors. Why you studied management, commerce is more or less a management subject.
Yes, sir.
So why you are considering the government sector, the public sector, rather than the private sector, which is more lucrative, which is like a dream place? Here you'll be in the dusty lanes, you'll be looking only at files.
Actually, sir, from the college, since there was a campus placement, I didn't go for campus placement, sir. There was a vision for me to have direct interface with the people of my community, of my country, sir. So I prefer to directly contribute through civil services rather than going indirectly through private sector.
Since you studied management, you're probably a right person to ask it. If we look at the diversity within the workforce, we realize that private sector is doing miserably in it. Government sector, because of the reservation in certain areas, certain other things, there still is some diversity in the workforce. But when it comes to private sector, especially the corporate sector, organized corporate sector, there are very little Dalits, there are very little tribals. The diversity is miserable in corporate sector. Why is it so, and what are the ways to make Indian corporate workforce more diverse?
Sir, I think the diverse culture at the workplace is highly diverse in the big corporates like Google. Like if you talk about India, Infosys are the company which have diverse workforce. Some of the private sector, they highly recommend the meritocracy over the reservation, and there they do not give preference to the people who are somewhere not at the par which they required. So sir, I think that is the reason they don't get selected into that. For having a better diversity into the workplace, I think we can make a corporate like legal laws for that, for certain percent of reservation without affecting the administrative efficiency. So sir, this can be the way. Or second, sir, the organization culture, where Narayan Murthy has said that a compassionate capitalism is where all the people are in the organizations.
There are people who believe that the compassionate capitalism is basically an oxymoron.
No, sir, no. Actually, sir, I have read that it's a bottom of pyramid where the people, if you garibi, there is a saying that garibi hatao munafa kamao by C.R. Prahlad, sir, in our management. So he says that by removing the poverty, you can also generate, sir, income. And this is the way, this is not, sir, I think, oxymoron. They are in convergence to each other, sir.
Anyways, thank you, sir.
So management, your subject.
Yes, sir.
And see the what business environment across the world, particularly India. and management, we have very important theory or study. We call it what Porter's five forces.
Yes, sir.
So how Porter's five forces important to understand the current scenario of global business environment?
So the Porter's five forces model is basically the threat from the competition, the bargaining power of the suppliers, bargaining power of the customers. And sir, I think in this era, we have lots of empowerment of customers, sir, where they demand the things. Like for example, if you talk about Reliance Jio, they are doing extremely great.
Okay, considering your point very carefully, look, all such forces we can understand today in what vaccine marketing, right?
Vaccine marketing.
Vaccine marketing.
Okay, sir.
Particularly Indian vaccines. We have 2 Indian vaccines, and we are doing marketing national level as well as international level, or better to say global level. So, but look, to consider Indian vaccine market should be what a global, right? What should be the market strategy of government of India, right? That is a part of what your study, that is what is strategy.
Yes, sir.
Considering the consumer behavior, the consumer behavior regarding the vaccine, considering globally, what should be the market strategy of government of India for vaccine?
For Indian vaccines. Sir.
Yes, sir, for Indian vaccine.
So the basic issue I think lies in the patent area, sir, where our generic medicines are doing extremely great, but the issue is they are not getting the intellectual properties issues, sir. So I think if we have, sir, we have traditional knowledge.
Look, both of the vaccines have been produced by very recognized institution. So there is no question of IPR, right?
Okay, sir.
That is going to happen. Considering what, look, 5 forces of Porter,
okay, sir.
like the competition. Okay. So you have to focus competition. How our vaccines are far better in quality as well as price. That is what cost effective. That should be considered and a most important strategy for global marketing. So what government of India should do regarding promoting this
Indian
particular
vaccine?
vaccine? Yes.
Okay, sir. I think, sir, we do not share the brand India across the world, where people do not acknowledge our brand, like the kind of vaccines that USA and China has.
Look, the Serum Institute having the brand.
Brand, sir.
That is what Oxford.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So there is a brand. So how we promote? There's no question of brand.
Sir,
then and Serum is the largest producer of vaccine in the world. So there's a brand.
Okay, sir. Then we have to, sir, penetrate our market, sir. For me, sir, like areas of Africa, Asia, where they have lots of demand, sir.
Do you consider what the government of India has started to supply vaccine even to the distant nations like Brazil, South Africa? And this is a very good market strategy. Even our citizens have not got 100% vaccination.
Okay, sir.
So do you consider this market strategy is very good for India?
Sir, I think, yes, sir. This is a part of medical diplomacy where when we have the interaction with the world. Sir.
Okay, my next question, you see, before actually COVID-19, or better to say last year when COVID-19 was at the apex, our stock exchange was almost 25,000, right? Mm-hmm. That is BSE, right? 30 standard stocks. Now this is what approximately 50,000.
Yes, sir.
And this happened within few months. So what are the factors responsible for such a bullish market in our stock exchange, right? And look, 10,000 gain is what I think in few weeks. So what are the causes, recent causes responsible for a sudden jump in what is stock market?
Sir, I think that stock market changes, like there is so much of shift in that.
Two very important factors. One factor is what recently happened. That is what expected result from USA election. That is what Democrats came into power. So how Democrat policy is going to help stock exchange worldwide, particularly Indian stock exchange? Tell me.
Sir, their economics, the economic diplomacy, where the interest rates are getting affected, so we can have the foreign portfolios in India.
There what the policy is not conservative like Trump policy, American first. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Vikas, do you know something about this MAGA campaign? MAGA, Make America Great Again.
Sir, it was the Joe Biden's campaign, sir?
No. Okay, you tell me, only recently one important commission which was constituted during the run-up to the presidency, the name of that commission was 1776 Commission, has recently submitted the report. Can you please tell me specifically what was the idea of constituting this commission? What basically it dealt with? What was its mandate?
Sir, sorry, sir.
So you're not aware. Let's come back to India. See, insofar as post of governor is concerned in Indian political scenario, we have a history replete with instances where this particular post has been shrouded in many controversies. Allegations have been made to the extent that this post of governor is acting at the behest of the central government and is acting as an agent. Fine, and that too in a partisan manner. My question starts from here. What is the constitutional position of governor? And in your opinion, the second part of question, in your opinion, do you think that mandate is being met by your present understanding of the post of governor in present political scenario?
I think, sir, the governor is a constitutional post, sir.
Okay.
And it has some of the power, even discretionary powers above the President of India. So basically, it was an interlink for better governance between the central government and the state governments. However, sir, in recent times, there has been manipulations, there has been political neutrality affecting their part of governance in the political appointments, sir. So I think, sir, it would be better to apply the Sarkaria commissions and second ARC recommendation for a neutral appointment, as well as creating a independent directorate for their appointment, sir.
Okay, then what should be the mode of appointment?
Sir, as far as Punchi commission is recommended, sir, it can go in the way the president has been appointed. Or, sir, there can be wide consultation as per the second ARC, where we can have consultation with the chief ministers before appointing them, sir.
Okay, you have just mentioned that the governor has been vested with certain kind of discretionary powers.
Yes.
Fine. In order to take a call whether this particular power, any power, falls within the jurisdiction of discretionary power or not, who has got the competence? Who decides?
Sir, governor himself decides.
Don't you think this is then a contradictory thing? The governor himself decides that what exactly constitute discretionary powers. So don't you think these things need to be regulated in order to have faith, trust of the people in the office of governor?
Yes, sir. I think, yes, you were absolutely saying right, sir. For this, I think we need to, sir, as far as my knowledge is concerned, the recommendations given by these prestigious institutions, I think we can apply this. He has a conflict of interest while doing his duty because of its office, sir. Since it's like office of where your appointment is decided by the center. So it is definitely, sir, somewhere affecting their conflict. So I think this creating an independent, sir.
Okay, because my last question to you, if you go by the data of NCRB, crime against women, in particular sexual offences against women and children have been spiked in the recent past, fine. So what do you think? Should we have more stringent laws in place suggesting death penalty for such crimes, or should we have a bottom to top approach involving certain kind of innovative, engagement of ideas in order to implement those laws in such a manner that the rate of crime against women should come down? What is your take?
I think, sir, a mix of both. For the people who are the habitual offenders, for them, sir, we can have the legal provisions for better implementation. And so for the people who are not habitually, they are in the convict because of some of the socialization problems. So for that, sir, we can have the policies where we can change their behavior and attitude towards women, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Vikas,
Yes.
you mentioned that you've studied primarily from Delhi.
Yes, sir.
And you still feel connected to your state, UP?
Yes, sir. My parents are there, sir.
Your parents are there. But you've been in Delhi for quite some time,
Yes.
right? Tell me, where is Uttar Pradesh Bhavan in Delhi?
Uttar Pradesh Bhavan in Delhi?
Yes.
Sir, Chanakyapuri.
Where in Chanakyapuri? Do you know? Have you ever visited that place?
No, sir.
What is the designation of the highest officer in the Uttar Pradesh Bhavan in Delhi?
Not aware, sir.
What is the name of UP Emporium in Delhi?
Not aware, sir.
In National Museum, Delhi, what are the major exhibits from UP?
Sir, UP has some cultural aspects where we have Buddhism.
My question is, in the National Museum of Delhi,
Ji, sir.
what are the major exhibits that are sourced from Delhi, from UP?
Sir, exactly I don't know, sir. I can estimate on the basis of the UP culture, sir.
No, the primary, some very important exhibits are from UP and everybody in the world knows them. Anyways, in the National Crafts Museum of Delhi, can you tell me the name of the pavilion of UP?
Actually, sir, I'm not aware.
Can
sir.
I presume that once you're in Delhi, you have forgotten your state? We have not looked at the interlinkages and the connectedness that this your city offers you about your state.
Actually, sir, I know much about my district, sir. My district.
That you learn. Coaching centers tell you to learn. That doesn't matter. The only thing is in your actual practice, when you have opportunity, whether you tell me which food from UP you believe is the one that should be promoted as state food of UP.
So there are many foods, but sir.
But then these many foods are available in many states. There cannot be many food which can be considered as a state food of UP.
I think, sir, there is aloo papdi, and sir, there is also aloo where in which we like in Hindi, sir, हम आलू को भूनते हैं रेत में. So that is the very different which we do not find in any part of the country. So that is the thing we can promote, sir.
Can you mention a few GI tags given to food products from UP?
Okay, sir. There are Agra durris, chicken curry from Lucknow.
Food products.
Food products, sir. So there are some mangoes. I'm not remembering the exact name. So there are mangoes and.
Mango has a lot to do with UP, and whenever we talk about mango, we always talk about the sherry mango of UP. The sherry mango of UP in comparison to, say, the Alfonso of Maharashtra, can you suggest a few things which are better in the sherry in comparison to Alfonso? I presume that you can identify these two mangoes.
Yes, sir. Sir, in Alfonso, they are basically big in sizes.
Alfonso is big in size.
Sir, as far as sir I know, they are the yellow and big one, and in the sherry we have the green and the little one.
Fine, because it was nice and entertaining to talk to you. Your interview is over. You can go now.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, tell me, how was it? What are the areas you believe you did fine and where you believe that you can do a little better?
Sir, the factual parts which you asked, sir, the museum, sir, where जहाँ मुझे ज़्यादा knowledge नहीं थी, sir.
See, these were not the factual question in that sense. These questions are normally asked from the candidates who are coming from outside, considering to see whether there is a connectedness or not. The idea is basically to see whether बहुत alienated तो नहीं है. That is the idea.
जी, sir.
So, whenever such is a, in your case, it is very simple that since you are in Delhi and you are claiming a position in Uttar Pradesh, look at the interlinkages. Wherever the common rivers, the common food, the common cultural context, common festival, whatever. I mean, and the soft part, not necessarily the factual thing. Right? The soft thing, the
So
basic
Delhi
thing.
and UP, sir.
Delhi-UP relationship, right? Obviously, you very well know that in such cases, you don't have to speak negatively about either of these two states, right? The positives and then the interlinkages, soft part, the lighter things. These things sometimes matter more than the hard facts,
Okay, sir.
right? You're a good candidate. We thoroughly enjoyed your interview. Your entry is good. You look smart. I expect you to wear tie that day,
Yes.
and while sitting, make sure that you open your this thing, right?
Okay, sir.
That will be better and more formal thing. Sitting posture otherwise is good. Voice level is good. Hand movement is restricted. Vocabulary is not the strongest point of yours, but you're good enough, right? Generally, you're good. Eye contact is also good. Flow is there. So communication, you are doing fine. Content-wise also, there are very few areas where we can consider you as clueless. On most areas, you know what we are talking about. There may be, obviously, there's always a possibility of improvement, so that I'm not discounting that. But generally, we didn't come across any area where it appears that you're clueless. So, which is also good. Also, a good part was that the conversation with you were more organic. It wasn't a table tennis kind of thing. I'm raising a question, you're giving an answer. This was not a quiz kind of a thing. It was a organic conversation which went in your favor, because organic conversation means then analysis will matter, creativity will matter, application will matter rather than facts matter. Even if you miss a few facts, doesn't matter. You're getting my point? So I would have, for example, in the last section, I would have liked you to mention it that yes, I'm in Delhi, I should have been knowing about these relationship with UP, and in the future I'll definitely do that. You're getting my point? It's rather than, it's not factual, it's like that you understand the core of the intent, right? That part is there. Other things you're doing perfect. So you don't have to worry about anything. Right now you have to ensure that you enjoy the conversation there, right? And it should appear that you are looking forward to the conversation. Everything else is in place. Whatever time you have, brush up certain areas and go and just come up with flying colors. All the best.
सर मैंने अभी पोस्ट प्रेफरेंसेस नहीं भरी हैं सर.
पोस्ट प्रेफरेंसेस भर लीजिए
सर.
बेसिक जो है देखिए ऊपर की 4-5 ध्यान रखिए.
सर फर्स्ट तो डिप्टी कलेक्टर मैंने भर दिया है. सर सेकंड थर्ड मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही है.
Look at योर एरियाज ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. अदरवाइज जो नॉर्मल ट्रेंड चल रहा है उसी के हिसाब से देख लीजिए. पुलिस की अगर है तो पुलिस भर दीजिए इफ यू लाइक दैट, and then go into the finance and other thing. पंचायती राज की भी इस बार है कि नहीं, I don't know.
है सर.
है तो उसे भी देख लीजिए.
And sir, the B.Ed part, sir, मैं इसे हटाऊं कि नहीं?
That's a see, to me you're looking very good, but then I'll not be taking your interview there. So you need to take a call like this. I don't know how do you look when you're.
हाँ सर, मैं थोड़ा सा मतलब बच्चा लगता हूँ, इस वजह से मैं ये नहीं कर रहा.
बच्चे का डर तो आपको नहीं होगा. You're already 24, so don't worry about it. So if you look handsome, you can consider that. There's no problem, right? All the best.
Thank you, sir. एंड सर वन थिंग मोर सर. सर आप कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे थे तो सर मुझे ऐसा तो नहीं है सर. आई वाज लाइक बीटिंग अराउंड द बुश.
As I said that we have discussed before I let you know, and we generally believe that on most area you were almost around the area we are talking about. You were not clueless.
Everywhere you are on right track. Sometime target is what far distant, or sometime very close, but you are not off the track. Very important thing is this.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Sir, dream tha yahan aana, sir. Thank you, sir.